Hey, thanks again for tuning in, guys. On this video, I want to talk a little bit more about how I hire people. I've been getting a lot of questions about staffing. So yeah, just want to share with you guys my process, what I look for new candidates, and what I ask for, and what kind of questions I ask for during the interviews. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing I like to do is I have templates of things that I like to email the candidates, questions, and wait for the responses. Because you can tell a lot by how they email you back. A lot of times, it's unfortunate, but people wouldn't really know how to write a professional email. And that's not a good sign because if they're writing to you like they're texting to you, that's not a good sign. Or there's just a lot of different ways you could tell by email. So things I do look for is some manners such as addressing my name, first of all, and then thank yous are really good to see in the emails. And also explanation points I like because that's how I like to send emails too, with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. So you can tell a lot between candidates, between how they email, if they're short, if they're not really explaining themselves well, or if you can just gauge your interest level and their professional level by emails. The second thing I like to have them do is have them call me. And then I'll specifically ask them to, when my staff members answer, I really do want them to leave a voicemail. Because, in this business, we do leave a lot of voicemails. We do want to hear just, and part of the reason I have this whole process here is I just want to be efficient with my time. I really don't want to have someone come in when I already know they can't write, and then find out later, or how they sound when I could have figured that out before having them come in. So I really don't want to have a lot of interviews scheduled unless it's a really strong candidate. So another thing I like to see is how they leave a voicemail. By leaving a voicemail, you can kind of see their tone in their voice, see if they're a good communicator, and see if they're persuasive enough to get a call back too. They don't sound excited, they don't sound like they could get a call back. These are all skills that's going to help in sales and in customer service too, to have a client be able to call that person back. So these are skills that I'm looking for. So leaving a voicemail is the second step. So number 3, so if they're able to write a professional email, if they're able to leave a professional voicemail, they're doing good so far. So this is actually when they ask them to give me a call again, and this time I actually will take their call if I'm available. I may even call them back. So this is maybe the most important part of the process, because with my agency in particular, we do a lot of things over the phone. So really how they sound over the phone really is going to make or break if they can perform well or not in our agency. So I really like to focus in on this part, and it's almost like the phone interview is a real interview, because again, I don't want to spend the time to have someone come in and find out later that some of the things that I'm looking for is not there. So I try to find out a lot to see how they could talk over the phone, and what type of person they are over the phone, and what their motivations are over the phone. So I want to go over some of the important questions. First thing is to find out why they're looking for a job right now. So to do that, I just have to ask them what their last position was, where was it at, or if they're currently working right now, and really dig into deep of why they're looking for a new job. Okay, so if they're currently working, I kind of want to find out why they're looking else. And sometimes I will feel that the reasons they give me is reasonable, and sometimes maybe not. Maybe this person likes to look for jobs a lot and aren't committed, or there's some situations there that are understandable. Or if they're currently not working, what was the reason it didn't work out the last place? So really, I go off this more than resumes. Sometimes I've hired people without even looking at their resumes, but really want to understand that why they're looking for a job and what they're looking for. And that's going to give you a good insight of what may happen at your agency too. So if they're not getting enough hours, or their location, or different scenarios, there's so many different things of what their situation is right now. But I really want to understand that, and that gives you a good idea of what how they can be at your agency. Because the reason of why they're looking for a job, I would like it to be more understandable, where I would put myself in their shoes and I will understand, okay, that does make sense. I will be looking for a new job as well. So that's what I'm looking for. And then what motivates them. There's going to be specific individuals that are want to just try something else, or they just want to have a fun job, or they're really just want to become a nurse, or want to find something in the meantime. There's going to be some situations where a particular candidate is going to be more interested in working here than others, at your place than others. So really, some of the good questions for that is, hey, what motivates you? What do you need money for? Trying to understand what gets them going. Is it family? Is it because they want to take vacations? And all these reasons are going to be okay, but some people are going to be more motivated than others, be more patient, be thinking more long term. So these are the type of questions. So really, just frankly, hey, what do you need money for is a good question too. And then another question I like to ask is, everyone's pretty good at talking about what they're good at, but for someone that's new and for someone who gets along with the team that's already here, it is important for that person to have humility. So I do want to ask them, hey, what are some of your weaknesses? And that's a good question I like to ask because that really gives some, that puts them in a situation where they have to have self-awareness and they do know that they have stuff to work on. Because the last thing we want to do is hire somebody with an ego, because that shows it will be a little bit more difficult for them to get along with the existing agents here. So what are your weaknesses? And whoever could answer that really well and honestly is a good sign. So those are the 3 questions I like to ask, and these are all done over the phone interview. All right, so if everything is going well, so they could email you, they could leave a good voicemail, and then all the questions that you asked over the phone interview are really well, then it's the final step, that's the real in-person interview at the office here. And by that time, I pretty much have a good feeling about this candidate. Okay, so really, that is more of just getting to know each other type situation because all the hard stuff has been taken care of before they even came into my office. And again, that's just for efficiency reasons. I don't want to schedule interviews all the time if I don't really know enough about them. So when they come in, I just want to see, hey, if they're on time, how they present themselves, because there is a little bit of different feel when they walk into the office and you're talking to them face-to-face in person, and also how they interact with the team members. I like to have them talk to a couple of them and get to know each other a little bit well. But I would say, 80% of the job is already done. So if I'm already scheduling an interview, so when they do schedule an interview here, that's when it's serious, and that's when it's worth my time to sit down and talk to them and let them know what I'm looking for. Good attitude, good activity level, good teammate, work ethic. So kind of more of an explanation of what I'm looking for. And then at the very end, kind of an important step here, at the end I do ask them to email me if they're truly interested. Because, hey, it's an important decision for them, where they're going to be spending a lot of their life at. So if they email me professionally afterwards, again, I'm looking for some, gratitudes, thanking me for my time. Those are some good indicators of a good CSR and sales. They have a sense of gratitude about the opportunity. And I'll ask them to, hey, if you're really interested, email me. Okay, and then if I interview 3 or 4 people, sometimes I won't get an email back. And that's okay because, your agency is not the right fit for everybody. So once they get that email back, with 2 or 3 people email me back, that's when I could truly consider that candidate, because a good sign if someone's going to work out here or not is how bad they really want it. So by gauging their interest level and how really well they feel like they'll fit in here, if they really want to do well, that's usually a good sign, rather than me trying to really look for people and recruit them, and you never want to be in a situation where you're begging them to work for you. So hope these tips help. It has worked for me in the past. I still don't get all the hires right, but it is definitely a skill and a trial and error thing. So keep going out there, talking to the right people, and recruiting, because that's really the key to growing your agency. If you have any other tips or have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer all of them. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll keep in touch. Hey, thank you so much for watching my videos. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe, and then stay tuned for more future videos to help you grow your insurance agency. And also comment below and let me know what you think. Until next time, thank you.